Hello, sir.
Yes, Sajin, what is the status of the first
Audible.
participant?
The first part was Anju. As I mentioned in the group, there was a group. So they wanted to participate as a group, but the rules did
Okay, okay, okay,
follow
fine.
that. They're not willing to participate at this time. So the second participant will join now, sir, as I informed it.
Sure, sure.
First, why they don't want to join? What they said?
So
Hello.
they prepared a group, so they want to keep as a group participation. But as a rules of individual presentation, they don't want to present it as individually. That's the reason
Okay.
is that.
And they will
Sir,
come
the
back
second
later, right?
participant,
Okay.
yes, sir.
Okay. Carry on.
Second participant is Gautam. Please sharing it.
Your voice is breaking. Is it for me only or for everyone?
Hello.
Sajin.
Because some network issues.
Your voice is totally breaking for me also. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Gautam, please start. Hello. The second participant is
Hello,
Gautam.
hello.
Please.
Am I audible? Hello.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Audible.
Yes.
Yeah, you are audible.
One second.
Jodham, welcome. Good morning. Yeah.
Good morning, sir. Can I start? Is
Yes,
this
please.
presentation?
Yes, please. And
Yeah.
you can turn on your video also if possible.
I'm a little uncomfortable turning on my video because I'm quite sick actually.
Okay.
So,
Okay, no problem.
if
No
that's
problem.
fine, yeah. Okay.
It's okay.
Okay. So, good morning, everyone. My name is Gautam Baiju. I'm from Government Engineering College, Thrissur, and I'm here to present my idea, Classroom 2.0. Okay, so coming to the problem, the COVID-19 pandemic wasn't really easy for any one of us, and we all had to switch to the online mode of education with the current software such as Google Meet, Zoom, Microsoft Teams, etc. The problem with these softwares were that they were designed for professional meetings alone and not for classrooms. So we can see a lack of interactivity and efficiency of classrooms taken in these softwares. Even taking instances from our own experiences, we were uncomfortable. We as students were uncomfortable in like switching on our mics and disturbing a whole class for clearing out silly doubts. And when we conducted a small survey, 90% of students said they would just rather join the classroom and be indulged in some other activities rather than listening in a classroom. Students really missed their whole classroom vibe, interacting with their benchmates, interacting with their classmates, etc. And for the teacher side, teachers weren't able to ensure what students were doing. Students were easily copying during exams. And so all these problems came into our mind, and then we introduced our solution, Classroom 2.0, which is a real, efficient, and interactive classroom application. First of all, the main feature of this application would be bench to bench voice channels. This is what sets apart uh, from the other competitors. So, bench to bench voice channel means the students are able to select seats before they enter the classroom, and they will be in voice channel with their bench partners. So that means they have a two-way interaction instead of one-way interaction, which is with the teacher and the whole classroom. Now they can also converse with their benchmates to clear small doubts, which can ensure a little more interactivity and efficiency in online classrooms. And the second, teachers have an option of full screen lock, which they can turn on during classrooms so that students are not indulged in any other activities in their device. There are proctored examinations which are already existing, but this is more like an all-in-one application which contains all the necessary features which is required for a classroom, so that the users do not have to use multiple platforms to uh, do their activities. Now, okay, coming to the customer base. So our customers are targeted towards the management of educational institutions. That's also the users are teachers and students. Our aim is to provide an all-in-one application providing quality education and ease in teaching. We intend to reach them through a direct approach or through the boards or vice chancellors of universities. Towards the market sizing, the market for online classrooms are very huge. At present, the total market for our product is the entire education sector, but our total addressable market for now is going to be the schools in India offering education through online classes for higher grades. There are over 20 lakh schools in India, and our present target, that is Kerala alone, is home to about 100 colleges and 8,000 aided and unaided schools, out of which over 50% students are higher secondary and upper primary students. And over 95% of these institutions are using the online mode of education, with just a mere handful offering offline education. Going for the bottom-up approach, our initial goal is to capture just about 15 to 20 schools in the 6 months range, which has at least 1,000 students each, being just 2% of our initial market. Our reach is among 4,000 schools, and this will estimate to our target market size being 30%. And online classrooms aren't going away. Once a platform is ready with the final features, we intend to widen our market by involving colleges too and approaching the target. Okay, so now coming to the investment and the cost for the product. So first, I'll describe the cost of the MVP, which is we are intending on giving a free trial, which would cost about 2 lakhs over there, and the development and maintenance, which would, as you can see, the cost. Then comes marketing and social media campaigns and data storage. So these are all estimated costs. We are not really into the we are not aware of the exact cost of these elements, so we've just done a little research, and this is our estimated cost for an MVP. And the revenue model, coming to the cost that we incur, are the server cost, developing cost, and advertising marketing cost. And the income would be from the institutions which are being charged a small amount per students according to the features that they require. If time permits, I can show you a design video. Hello.
Yes,
How
yes,
much
please.
time is remaining?
Yes, you have 2 more minutes left.
Yeah, okay, so 2 minutes, fine. Perfect. One second.
The pandemic hasn't gone easy on the students. They lack interaction, and teachers don't get the comfort of seeing their students. To tackle such issues, we bring to you Classroom 2.0, a completely interactive and efficient desktop application providing us with the perfect classroom experience. Once we log in, we see a welcome page displaying the classrooms that we are a part of, and also a navbar with various functions like the ability to edit a profile, join a new classroom, and also report a bug. We have an option to clear our doubts privately with our teachers, view any announcements updated by the teacher, and also view the other members of a classroom. Once we enter, we get to select our seats and also hover over them to see which seats have been occupied and by whom. And then according to the timetable, the teachers can join and leave the classroom, just as it is in our institutions. Here, we have screens used for the class presentations. Now, to increase the interactivity among students, here we have a miniature seat layout. By default, the students will be in a voice channel with their bench partner. Here, they can solve doubts, discuss a particular topic, and have a comfortable conversation. This will be active throughout the class. They can talk to nearby benches by requesting them, and a time limit is given, which, if exceeded, will notify the teacher. We also have a common chat channel where students can post their doubts to the teacher and give reactions. The student also has the ability to direct the voice to the main channel so as to address the whole class, including the teacher. Now on the teacher's interface, the teacher gets to view the student queries, add announcements, and also view the members of the classroom. Once the teacher joins, she gets to view all the students present in the class. The teachers get to view her video as well as the screen presentations on the top right, and it can also be switched to a larger view. An important feature provided is to lock screens of the students. Once the teacher locks a screen, a student cannot leave the classroom or change windows, just as in a real classroom. They also have provisions to add pop-up questions for the class to answer and get a report of the same. When the class ends, they will get an attendance percentage report of the class. That is, how much of the time the student has spent in the classroom. In the later updates, we intend to incorporate features such as ML face detection to analyze if students are concentrating in the class and accordingly mark the attendance, and also an examination mode with face detection and disable voice channels.
Your time has reached.
Yes, okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Gautam.
Basically, you can start.
Yeah. Okay, Gautam. This
sir.
was an interesting presentation. And first of all, I appreciate the amount of time you spent for making such a brilliant presentation.
Thank you, sir.
We like the idea. And my question is, you already mentioned it is different from other virtual learning systems in
Yes.
your own unique ways. My specific question is, you might have heard of learning management systems like Moodle, okay, learning
Yes, sir.
management systems. So can you please explain what are the unique properties your system is having in comparison with this uh, other learning management systems? I mean, already existing. Since there are so many such systems, what you are right now suggesting is by Classroom 2.0, you are it's like a compartmentalization. Like there are Classroom 1, Classroom 2, teachers assigned, and I mean, it's a kind of
So if
what is the innovation here?
yeah,
That is
yes, sir.
simply asking. What
Yes,
is
sir.
my
So the
question?
two main features, as I've mentioned, I'm going to mention it again: the bench-to-bench voice channels and the full screen lock, which is unique to Classroom 2.0 only.
Full
Actually,
screen.
we have
Full
created
screen. Can you explain it
full,
again?
yeah, full screen lock, which means the teacher, while taking classes, can implement a full screen lock so that students cannot switch windows or do some other tasks during classrooms. If you want, I can show you a comparison table which we have created. Because the number of slides were restricted, I was unable to include it here.
Okay,
If
fine.
I, yeah, 1 second. Um, can you see this?
Yes.
So
Visible.
this is a comparison table between the global competitors and the local competitors such as Moodle and IEEE. So the differences here is shown. So in Moodle, what we have is a learning platform and not any. There's no provision for conduction of classrooms. As in here, this is an all-in-one compilation of an app with these additional features that they've said.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Kesavasamy sir, please. Your
Gautam, as Subheesh said, I will come on video.
Yes, sir. Hello.
As Subhesh said, I also like it is a good thinking. I have a couple of questions. So one, you talked about attendance. Teacher will get the percentage of time given student is there in the class for every student. The table will be given to them, right? Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. My question is, how do you measure whether student is present or not? Suppose somebody has just logged in and at the end of the program log out, and he is not physically present there, doing something else, whether that will be counted as 100% as attendance, or you have some intelligence built in so that he cannot do that.
No, we are we in this initial stage we are not planning on doing any of that, but in further stages we have thought about bringing in ML and face detection to ensure that
Yeah,
someone is present in the classroom like that.
yeah.
But
Now
as of
after,
now, the attendance is for the time logged in the class. And if
okay,
teachers want to measure attendance otherwise, they have the feature of giving out pop-up questions so that
yeah,
it can be
yeah, yeah,
answered only.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Teachers can handle that, of course. Some of them do,
yeah,
and some of them they don't. But this is really a big challenge today because my wife is a teacher and I am an educator in a way, though I'm frustrated. But this I have seen. I think most of the even major branded products have constraints in measuring the attendance truly, right? In class, traditional classrooms, teachers know you are there in the classroom. Whether you listen or not is a different issue. Again, teachers will have to ask questions and find out. Similarly, she has to do that here also. That's what you are saying, right?
yes,
Anyway, even in a traditional classes also, physically somebody is there does not mean he is there, right? Unless teacher asks
yes,
questions and find out whether he is there, I think she can continue to do that here also. But as of now, technology does not support you. to measure the presence in your system at this point of time, right, sir?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. Second question, the ability to discuss with benchmates is really a remarkable thing. Actually, when we shortlisted yours, that was one of the critical feature we liked. All the three members we liked. It is really interesting. Otherwise, the class becomes very monotonous. And,
Yes.
you have created a real classroom simulation there, right? You have thought about the real classroom. People will interact when teacher is showing the back and writing
Yes,
something on the
yes,
board.
sir.
They will have quick interaction, quick understanding. Some of them misuse and some of them use. That's good. Bringing that reality into your system is good, but how you control that? I mean, in the classroom, teachers will see the disturbance and quickly they will minimize that. Here, you said you have some minimizing technique. I want to know that how do you that? Do you say an interaction cannot exceed beyond few minutes like that? Have you built it?
Yes, sir. That we have actually built in that the interaction will have only a couple of minutes. That the number of minutes can be only
Yeah.
specified after we do a sample prototype test. And it's,
And
as
Gautam,
of now, it's
not
only
only that,
yes.
the duration cannot be system defined. It should be teacher defined.
Yes, sir. Yes.
If
It
teacher
can.
does not want to have the interaction, possibly she will define 0.
Yes, yes. Yeah, that's also, yeah, that's a thing which we could consider.
So
Definitely.
those things will have to come in, right, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely.
We don't have now, right? Yeah.
Yes,
Hello,
sir.
sir. Sir,
Teacher.
excuse me. The time is exceeding, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, then I will stop. But it's an interesting project. We should have more time. Okay, so
Maybe next time. Shyam,
because
sir, any
Shyam,
question?
Yeah, Gautam,
Yes, sir. Yes,
is
sir.
your software designed for mobile
No, no, no. Only desktop application.
only? Is it an application or web-based system?
It's a desktop application, not a web.
Okay. Are you
Okay.
using any SDK? Which SDK are you planning to use?
I'm sorry.
SDK for video availing
Yeah,
video processing system.
WebRTC. We are
Okay.
planning to use WebRTC and implement PRJs through WebRTC.
So, which architecture, which coding architecture are you using?
For the app, we are
Yeah.
doing the app in React. Uh,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I would really have to clarify you more on the technical side, but the person that is who's the head of technical side is unable to come here because only one person could present today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay, Gautam.
Yeah. Okay.
Very
Thank
nice.
you. Yeah.
how
Thank
much time will be needing to complete this?
you. That
In case you are taking up this, how much time will be needed?
we are looking for funds actually to hire professional
No,
developers. With that,
no,
the time will definitely reduce. But as of now, I think we'll take 3 months or 2 to
okay,
3 months.
okay, okay,
Thank you.
okay. Thanks.
And two more just add to some suggestions. See, your title is Classroom 2.0. That is a very good suggestion. Very good suggestion. I mean, very good title as far as this project is concerned. But try to make it more unique. This Classroom
Yes, sir.
2.0, etc. is so many. Even you search Classroom 2.0, you can see a lot of results in the web. So
Okay.
try to make your own title that will add value for this project. Okay, brand it as yourself. Okay, this idea is very good. And another thing is regarding what Kesavasamy sir said. I have published a paper with a similar idea, how to check students' attention span during the entire virtual meeting, something like that. So a paper title is REAMS, which I mentioned in the comment section. You can check it out. Okay.
Yes, sir. Sure, sir.
It's
Thank
my
you.
own paper, so if you have any doubt, you can call. You can correct my number from
Yes.
Sajin, and you can call me. Okay.
Yes, sir. Definitely. Sir. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, Gaurav. Vedam, you can leave now.
Yeah, I'm leaving. Thank you.
Thank you. The next presentation is from Vishnu Kannan. Vishnu, over to you.
Yes, Sajid.
Hello.
1 minute before coming.
Okay, sir.
See, I'm asking Mr. Subhesh and Shyam also to react.
Yes.
Should be really very restrict when we have questions, or we can extend this session a little more than
I
beyond 1 hour.
think so, because to get more idea and clarity, let them clearly present, isn't it?
No, we should give clear guidelines to Sajin. Otherwise, because he has to manage the time up to 1 o'clock, whether we are open beyond 1 or we are not open for beyond 1, based on the Sajin can take it. Now, if it is
Okay.
1, we will go with whatever Sajin decides. That's what
Sir,
I am open beyond 1 now.
Yes, I am also open up to 1:30. I'm free. Sham is also Sham. Will it be okay for
Yeah,
you?
I can also say. I think we can restrict the presentation time, but we cannot restrict the Q&A time.
Correct.
Yeah, that's right. Yes.
That,
Sajin,
sir,
that,
please
if,
that
note.
way.
if we can control the Q&A time to 5 minutes, then we can manage as you said, sir.
Okay.
I'll just remind in the comment section. Please just check on that while
Yes.
asking about it.
Okay, please admit next participant.
Okay, Vishnu, you can present now. Hello?
Yeah, hey, കാണുന്നുണ്ട്. I mean, ഞാൻ പറയുന്നത് കേൾക്കുന്നുണ്ടോ?
Yes, Vishnu. Vishnu presentation in English channel.
ആണോ? ഓക്കെ ഓക്കെ. Oh, can you see my screen?
Yes, Vishnu.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
Okay. So good afternoon all. Myself Vishnu. I'm from College of Engineering, Kiranur. I'm a computer science engineering student. So here's my idea. It is called class assistant. What the thing it is, we are having online class from our like 2 years, and most of them are just get frustrated and get distracted frequently because of like we are getting into this using some like Meet or something, and when we get some notifications from WhatsApp or LinkedIn, whatever, we will get distracted and just go towards that, and we just don't look on the class again. So these are the main problems that I felt, and the students are also getting distracted frequently, and they are just getting a lot of stress because lack of human interaction and large workloads from the institutions like assignments and projects and all the things. And yeah, the students are just joining the classes only for attendance. So that didn't make any sense. Like they are not learning anything from the class because they are thinking like, yeah, they will get the record sessions, so they will look at that, and they're not learning from the teachers from the live sections. So the students are just getting their class just only for the attendance, and yeah, the instructors are also get paid by the students only for the attendance. So that like the students just get in and just mark their attendance and just leave, and this is frequently happening all over the class that we are facing right now. And yeah, the students are getting lack of communication with the instructors like teachers, so they are not talking with teachers. So the vice versa, teachers are not aware of the children because they are in virtual, they can see the students and always in the class, and the students just mute their mic and all. So here's my idea, which is like creating a new attendance system, which is based on the class's activity. What I mean by activity is the total number of activeness, like how much messages that a class did overall and how much times they open their mic and they unmute their mic for speaking. These all are the activities that I have mentioned. And what it is, it takes a count of entire sessions activity and just make into account, and it will get, we will take an average of the count using the number of participants in the session. So we will have an average of the sessions, like activity. So what I do is I just take each individual's activity and just compare with the average. So if each individual student's activity, the activity range is just equal or above the activity of the entire class, the average one, then they will attend as present. So this is the thing. This is the way that I think to make a bit interactive attendance system. So like for attendance, the students should have to text on the chat boxes or they have to unmute to ask something. So they are used to, they have to try to interact with the teachers in order to get the attendance. So hopefully, initially they just evolve with this technology, and they start to feel like they are in classroom. So they will get more interactive with the teachers and all, and vice versa. The teachers also get to know about the kids and the students. And the final attendance report will be given to the teacher at the end of the session. And the teacher they can verify what, it is all correct, or if they want to change something, because if some students just get logged out due to some internet connections, and they can personally DM the teacher, and she can edit the attendance system however she wants. But the final report, it just goes to the teacher, so she can verify all the things are fine or good. And yeah, if the section is quiet and no one is just talking and there's no activity, then the teacher can make some polls on the chat section, so that then the attendance will count based on the poll, how much the people's active on the poll. And yeah, as I said, at the end of the sessions, all these things will be visible like a dashboard in front of her. So teacher can see all the things, and they can proceed what they are want. So yeah, these are the technologies that I was just going to target on. So this is a big blue button, which is like an online conference. It's both of the under this Jitsi. Both of them are open source, so you can get the GitHub repo when you just Google on that. And what I'm trying to do is just integrating the system that I told, like the automatic attendance system, into the big blue button and the Jitsi. I'm more focused on the big blue button because it's more convenient to use and just user-friendly to developer also. So I'm just more focused on the big blue button. On the other hand, I'm just also doing with Jitsi. What it does is, like just giving us common Meet interface, both of them, and this is open source, so we can edit whatever we want. We can get the source code and all the things, and we can modify the stuff. And I already have grabbed the codes and just read all the codes, and I'm just preparing for the next procedure. So these are the targeted technologies that we are going to integrate this attendance system. So this is the timeline and cost of this project. The timeline of the project is about 2 months, just for editing the source code and all the implementations of the idea. It takes like 2 months, and the other phase we have development after we're finishing the development. So currently I'm just planning to host this thing into AWS Micro, which is like the basic Amazon Web Server that we can use. And yeah, the limitation of the Meet is, we can host up to 100 people without any problems, but the rate 100 is not fixed. It can vary, like it can be 103 or 104, however you want, but the 100 is just like, hosting up to 100 without cost, it doesn't cause any problem at all. So it will be like smooth and all. And yeah, the initial cost of the project is just for the servers and the database that we have to use, and which I just plan currently just using the AWS one. And later on, I'm just thinking to move the AWS Micro to some dedicated server for the better performance. I hope this will make a learning path into like more interactive way, so that the people and the students that feel like they are in classroom. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Vishnu. Sir, you can have a Q&A session now. Please, sir.
Hello. I'm sorry.
Yes,
I can.
Vishnu.
Yeah. Go.
Yes, Vishnu. It was a good presentation, and I like that idea of virtual class assistant. First of all, I see your title when you are presented your abstract was virtual class assistant. Now it is showing only class assistant, right?
Yeah, that's just a mistake.
So,
That's a
it's
mistake
okay.
that I have done.
No problem. Then I was just curious whether you meant something more or
No, the thing is, when I just start to present, I just did
It's
the.
okay. It's okay. I was just clarifying.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Another thing, see, by class assistant, what do you mean? See, actually, what you are focusing is on the attendance, right? Student attendance.
And moreover, the dashboard that will shows the entire progress of the session. So that will be like an assistant for the teachers to check out.
Yes. When you mean by first from my thought,
Yeah.
I was expecting something like Google Assistant or Microsoft Assistant, something like that.
And
So
the thing
you
which,
can,
the thing which I just consider is making like a completely automated stuff which will not be used. I mean, it can be used for all the people. So if we make a
yes,
platform, so they can
yes, I
integrate.
understood.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understood. So first of all, while presenting this idea into a conference or somewhere else, think about a more creative title, which is more related to your work, what you are
Okay.
doing. Just
Okay.
by class assistant means it is a broad term. Okay,
Yeah.
even teacher as a facilitator is a class assistant.
Yeah.
So,
Got it.
so make it to the point, specific like that. That is my suggestion.
Okay, sir. I will
Another
note
thing
it
is
down.
regarding your clarity of this thing. Um, Towards the end, you said you are presenting this dashboard kind of uh, dashboard to the
At the end of the session to
yeah,
the
at the
teacher.
end of the sections to the teachers and students. So, how it is different from the existing technology? What is unique in your
The thing
innovation?
is, actually, the thing is, right now we are using Google Classrooms for the frequent exams, and what the teachers does is they use some extensions called to collect the attendance, which is like how much active time that you are using here. So what the problem with that technology is, the students can join the class and just mute the
Yeah, yeah,
class
that is
and
true.
all.
That is true.
And what I'm doing here, like I'm trying to make the people more interactive, like opening the chat. So opening the chats and
Yeah,
unmuting
yes,
mic in
yes,
order to get attendance. So they
yes,
won't
yes.
get attendance just sitting in the class.
Yeah, I understood. So, this will be depending on two, three modalities. One is like teacher can give a poll to students to
Yeah,
answer some questions.
yeah,
Another one is chat window. Maybe another one can be this unmuting and
yeah.
answering. Okay.
The unmuting and the chat just considers as a single one.
Okay.
Just
For all these modalities, you are going to give weightage, right?
yeah.
Some weightage will be there, and depending on that, on the dashboards, yeah, on the dashboard, the attendance will be displayed. Is it like that?
Yeah, actually, the thing is, I will take the average of the class. So I will count the entire weightage of the session and I will store it somewhere. And I will take the average by the total activeness divided by the number of students. So I will get the
Okay,
class average.
fine, fine.
And I will check with the individual students.
So it is more or like a normalized
Yeah,
attendance, something like that. So think
yeah,
about, think more about your idea, then you'll get a very good title, and try to present it in a conference, IEEE conference or something like that. Then you'll get more inputs from
okay.
the reviewers. That is how it can be made as a successful product. Okay, that's all from my side. All the best.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Kesavasamy, sir, please. Vishnu, it was
Keshav
good.
sir, please. Yes.
Yeah, Vishnu, I come on video also.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. It's good. Let me have some clarity from you.
Yeah,
See, the attendance marking is one component of a classroom, right, sir? The
yes, sir.
classroom involves so many other things, teaching, evaluating, a number of things are there, right?
Yeah,
Interaction, all those things, interaction. So many things are there in a class.
I couldn't hear. Yeah,
Your program gives the impression, whether my understanding right or wrong, I'm going to say, this is only an assistant to a main learning management system, or it itself is a total system.
yeah. It's I just for the initial time. For the initial product, I just doing for the only for the instructors or the headers.
Attendance alone, the attendance component alone managed by your system, right?
Yeah, attendance and yeah. You'll take the attendance from the
No,
all the
attendance. No, it's not mere attendance. It is measuring interaction, all the things
yeah,
you are doing. I agree, but it is essentially an attendance marking system. Am I right?
yeah. It is an attendance marking system. Yeah, I
Well,
think
yeah,
yeah.
and you use some innovation to mark the attendance. It's not a mere somebody logs in and logs out and then count that time as an attendance. You are not doing that. That I agree. But the output of the system is the attendance list, right? Am I right?
Yeah, it's kind of like yeah.
Am I right? So now this assistant is an assistant for a specific LMS platform, or you have means to interface with any learning system.
Yeah, right now I'm just
From
integrating.
your presentation, I got the impression this
Yeah,
is an assistant to your Google Meet only, right? Am I right?
yeah, kind of like, but I'm just targeting this in stuff into another platform like Big Blue Button and Jitsi, so that we can do more modification on the stuff just rather than like.
No. Vishnu, I understand. We can do so many things. What at present, it is a attendance marking system using some innovation that I have understood.
Yeah.
And second thing, it is an add-on service to the Google Meet. Any organization using Google Meet for classroom, they will be benefited by your system. Am I right?
No, sir. Actually, they have to use this technology because I'm just like integrating with only these platforms, so it can be used like extension.
No. What I say, for learning management system, what they have to use? Are we imposing any constraints on them?
No, not like that. Not like that. Like, you're not imposing anything like to do, but the recommended stuff is they have to use these kind of platforms, like so that we can like give this access and give this kind of attendance to them, like lead program to them.
I don't know this. This is a learning platform.
Yeah, it is a learning platform called Big Blue Button, which is like open source. Both of them are open source, and there's another is Jitsi. So both of them are like an open source. We can get the source code and we can compile to ourselves and do all the stuff that we want.
I understand. So this is a learning platform. For that, you have created an assistant. Am I right?
Yeah.
Thank you. But concept-wise, interesting. Possibly, I don't know, when you grow really big, organization like Google Meet, and if you really establish this and go ahead, possibly tomorrow Google will approach you. Hey, can you integrate your company with me? And they may be offering you millions of dollars. All the best. Thank
Hope,
you.
sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Uh, Vishnu,
Yeah.
uh, so currently your project is only for these two platforms, right?
Yeah, only these 2 platforms.
What should be the ideal price for your service if you are releasing in your market?
Yeah, the initial pricing is just based on the number of companies. So actually the thing is, the initial client, if I got like 5 or 6 clients for the initial, then I had to, get a better Amazon Web Servers or some servers. So it just depends on how much the like limited people just enroll at the beginning. And moreover, I'm just integrating the stuff. For the initial, I'm just integrating with the Amazon microserver, so it is free for us. Like for developer, it is free just for 1 year, so you can integrate that for free. And also database, I think it's just cost like $50.
Suppose a student just randomly unmute and mute, and if
Yeah,
we do like that, can we detect it?
Not like that. They have to speak. When they speak, their mic will just go smooth, and the duration will be calculated. How much long they are doing. Opening and how much duration they are talking or using the mic.
Okay. My suggestion is that you should make it as a plugin to integrate Google Meet and Zoom.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about that too for an
Because
upcoming.
nobody goes for to get this function. Nobody goes to choose another platform. So
Okay.
we need to make something for the existing customers.
Yeah, actually, the thing I thought is I can do this thing as I'm like custom my own server, so that college can ask me, so I will give an access to this platform, so they can use this platform, and at the end of the day, they can give me some service charge that for their use. I was just thinking like an company, like an organization.
Okay, Vishnu, please work on that aspect.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Thank
All
you.
the best.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vishnu. So the next participant is Aishwarya Prasanna. He's here. So shall I present? Aishwarya, you can present now.
Hi, can you hear me?
Is he audible?
Is it required to turn on the camera?
If you can, yes. I have put it. You are comfortable? Yes.
Yes, sir, no problem.
Good morning.
A very warm good afternoon to each and everybody, those who were gathering over here. I, Ashwarya, is here to presenting about my topic, the detection of the children learning system through the fingerprint using automated enhanced learning system with IoT. From the name itself, you having the brainstorming is that, hey, it is the detection of the children's learning style through the fingerprint? Yes, this is the system that I had adopted, that is the detection of the children's learning style through the fingerprint. The content consisting of the introduction, motivation, objective, system design, and conclusion. Earth is revolving around the sun, and the moon is revolving around the earth. In this revolving world, or in this changing world, each and everything is changing day by day. As a result, we also have to shift our educational system from paper and pen to the assignment. And starting my words by saying in idiom, Vidya Dhanam Sarvadhanal Pradhanam. Learning system plays an important role in grasping and understanding power of the student. If the activities or assignment etc. are designed as per the preferential learning style of the student, it can be result in the significant improvement in the grasping and understanding of the student by grasping and understanding the subject of the student easily. Here is the system for that. For that, we are classifying the students based on their learning style, whether they are belonging to the auditory group, or they are belonging to the visualizing group, or they are belonging to the kinesthetic group. And by using the fingerprint biometrics, I used to identify the students' learning style based on it. The students' learning style comes under the category of the auditory. They will be concentrated, or the teachers will be concentrated on the area of the auditory and where which we can able to learn the student, by the way. And visualizing, on the visualizing method, we are concentrating, or the students or the teachers have to concentrating for tutoring them by showing them different videos regarding the particular topic. And whereas the kinesthetics, it is already different from rather than the audio or visualizing. It is mainly concentrated on the practical way rather than the theoretical approaches. Based on it, a website had to be created. In the website, the students or the teachers or the parents are able to know whether the students is belonging to their children is belonging to the which category, and based on them, that the students are divided and assignment is sent based on it. And I go the motivation. The motivation come from the pandemic situation, that is COVID. Not only the COVID, but also we can also use this system on the offline mode also. That is in the main pandemic situation. I used to see many children facing the difficulties in the online class, that they don't know what the students or the teachers were tutoring. The same way the tutors or the teachers were saying, facing the same problem is that which learning style must be adopted, whether the students will be able to catching the teachers, whatever the teacher had been tutored. That is the motivation that I had got. From there, I conclude the fact that I want to detect, I want to first of all detecting the learning style of the students by using the fingerprint biometrics. And then after that, we have to identify the learning style, which learning style the students has to categorize, and uploading it in the website. And finally, send the mail to the student. And here is the system. I'm on my way to the doing maximum output, and I have the system with my hand, and here is my system that is already shown in the figure. That is hardware architecture is already shown here. First of all, my idea is that in the offline as well as on online mode, the ID card is provided to the students for each and every classes. So at the same time, the students are giving the photos of them. At the same time, the teachers or the school or the colleges were taken the fingerprint by using the fingerprint module, either and that value is stored in the memory of the Arduino Nano, and that were categorized, and the basis of the memories are categorized in such a way that minimum 3 fingerprints of the students have to be taken, because if any one is not working properly, then other fingerprint can be used for the identification of the student learning style. For that, I categorize the array on the basis of 1 to 3 to 1 student, and 4 to 6 or 4 to 5 for another student, like this. And here then you can able to see an LCD 16:2 LCD display is shown over the picture, which will be showing the fingerprint 1, 2, 3, and 4. The 1, 2, 3, and 4 will be showing the push button that's already shown in the figure. The one will be used for the push button. One is used for adding the fingerprint of the student, and after placing the fingerprint of the particular student, if the roll number 1 is coming and placing their finger over there, then we are first of all pressing one push button. After the placing the fingerprint over the fingerprint module, then the entire button is pressed. After the entire button is pressed, the display 16:2 display is shown that you are the fingerprint is added. After again, or the student is placing the fingerprint, then the 16:2 LCD will be displayed that the fingerprint matched to ID number 1. Likewise, if we want to add the second roll number or the third roll number, we are upping the push button by using the 3 push button 3 for upping, and for downing also we are using the push button 2. And again here the hello.
The time is up for the question.
Please conclude in 30 seconds.
Okay. Then here I had used an IoT module. IoT module is the main and interfacing, and the IoT module is used for the learning style detection. After learning style detection, it is uploaded over the website. I had using here, I tried to using the website as the ub.sags website is used for the uploading of the students' learning style which categorized, and from there we had sending the mail. And I'm concluding my words by saying that many disabled students also, their parents were facing many difficulties that they don't know what to do with their children. Not only that, but also I had heard from many teachers as well as saying that this student is not allowed good in study. But the main problem is that based on the learning style, we have to tutor this particular student. For that, we can flourish the students with colors. Thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you. Thank you for that presentation. Subheesh sir, over to you. Okay.
Thank you, Aishwarya.
Okay. Okay, sir.
It was a really good presentation, and we liked the innovative part also. Actually, we selected it
Sir, I am
because
on my way. Hardware I had already completed. I'm on my way.
great. So, is it a part of your BTech project or mini project, something like that?
Sir, I'm doing my MTech right now. So I take this project actually initiated to the main
Oh, so
project.
you are an MTech student. Which college?
Yeah.
You forgot.
Yeah, Sri Buddha College, Part 2.
Sure. So this is a part of your MTech project work, right?
Yeah, mini project, and I want to forward it to the main project.
Sure. The idea is very interesting. But let me ask, as a part of your mini project, you might have gone through several literature reviews related
Yes,
to this, how the fingerprint can be used to identify the learning style of students. So can you
yes.
please elaborate more on that? You explained about how the fingerprint is collected, all those systems, but when it comes to explanation related to how the fingerprint can be used to identify the learning styles of students, I'm curious to know about the research papers or existing technologies for that. Can you please
Okay,
explain?
okay, sir. They had used different algorithm for that. Line scan algorithm. I had used here line scan algorithm for that. Many decision making algorithm have been used in the different papers, and they also saying that many online learning app also using the same technology of not like the learning style. Preferential, but they are using the quiz method for identifying the students' learning style. After that, they categorize the students based on it.
Yeah, yeah. So the categorization is not directly based on this fingerprint. First, they
Yeah,
will categorize using these quizzes.
quizzes
Then,
and
then,
okay.
yeah, then they will use that information to categorize students, and
Yeah,
it has not directly nothing to do with the fingerprint, right?
yeah,
Fingerprint
sir.
is just for identification.
Yeah, here,
So
here we will.
what are the things where they are doing to detect? I mean, can you
Classify.
explain? Yeah, classify students. Just one
Uh,
or two examples. Can you please?
Okay, sir. They are using, I had already told you, line scan algorithm is used here.
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah, based on the line scan algorithm, the FFT had been done on that, and different FFT method. They are. I had already go through the paper, and they were saying in the paper that they were divided based on the FFT. They were filtering their learning style based on the fingerprint, like rigid or something like that, or
Okay,
diminal line that
okay, okay. So this
okay.
has already been implemented, right? I mean,
No,
this algorithm is there.
algorithm is there, but they are just taking the student's fingerprint and identifying that. That's all. But I used to classify them and uploaded it in the website, UBDocs, and sending the assignment based on it.
Okay, great, great. Yeah, you are doing a great job. I
Okay, thank
appreciate
you, sir.
that.
Thank you,
And
sir.
yeah, that's all from my side. Over to Kesavasamy sir, please.
Aishwarya,
Hi, sir.
Aishu, right?
Yeah, yeah, sir.
It is well done. I also like this.
Thank
I
you,
have a
sir.
couple of questions. See, your target audience, who are your target audience for this system?
My target audience are
Schools?
teachers as well as the parents. Also,
No. No, you are classifying the students, right?
yeah, I'm
Into
classifying the
three,
students.
you are two things. You are using your fingerprints to identify the students,
Yeah, learning style
and
of
you
the
are
student.
using no fingerprint is used for only identification of the student. Right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. After that, IUD
Fingerprint
would
fingerprint is not identifying the
taking the
learning style. It is not identifying learning style. It is identifying
okay.
only the student, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And you have other
And
algorithms to identify the learning style. Ultimately, once that is done, that
yeah,
learning style is attached with this fingerprint. Fingerprint
yeah,
uniquely identifies the person, right?
yeah, yes,
And then you like now this input, right? These are
yes.
all the class of 40 students. Will classify every class into three categories like this. That is your ultimate aim of this project.
Yeah, sir, I want to conclude that these teachers have to be concentrated that many videos are available.
I agree. I agree. So my question is this: in the classroom, all the three categories of students are there,
yeah,
and your system correctly identifies them
yeah,
and tags them to their fingerprint. So uniquely, everybody is linked. What is this learning style? From my fingerprint, you will know what is my learning style, right? That is
uh,
what your system achieves, right?
yes, sir.
This information is available to the teacher, and you said teacher can accordingly deliver the learning. Sorry, the teaching style can be based on this. My concern, in a given classroom, in a given time of 1 hour, how a teacher will do all these three.
Mm. Yeah.
So
Okay.
that means you want to classify the classes into three subsections, section A, section B, section C, like that, and give
Mhm.
different time allotment for them.
No, sir. I think the assignment had to be provided. The teachers must have to be follow the same way that they are doing. But the teacher can able to identify the student's learning style by using this. Likewise, they giving an homework or assignment based on the student that many YouTube videos regarding the topics are there.
Okay,
Then
okay, okay.
you
I
have to
understand. I understand.
uh, okay.
Class, you are not redefining classroom. You are redefining the assignments and the
Yeah,
exercises. Like
yeah, sir. Yeah,
the add-on learning
yeah, yeah,
will be appropriately defined based on this. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. By the way, students can able to flourish them.
Yeah.
They can also identify that this is my learning style. By this way, I can able to
Yeah.
easily
I
study
see.
well.
Interesting.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. See, what is a sign function? The student with audio focus, he will be some audio will explain that to him. For somebody else, visual medium will be showing that. This is a sine wave like that, right? Something
okay.
like that.
No, sir.
No, no, what I'm saying, based on whatever is the subject being taught,
Okay.
based on the learning style, the assignments will be defined, right? That's what
Yeah,
saying, right?
yeah.
Interesting. Really interesting. All the
Okay.
best.
Thank you, sir. I'm very happy that all of you are patiently hear my topic and
No,
all.
we have one more expert here, Shyam.
Shyam sir.
Shyam, please.
Yeah, your idea is good, but I think there is no need of that fingerprint sensor.
Hello.
Hello, Aishwarya, am I audible?
Sir. Now I am audible, sir.
Okay. So, what is that relevance of that fingerprint sensor?
Fingerprint, by the way, we can able to classify the students by taking the fingerprint.
But like if you are going for an online class
Okay.
or something like that, it will be a burden for the school system to implement such a
That is
fingerprint.
my extended main project, sir. I'm trying to implement by using the Android phone. By using the Android phone now, everybody having the fingerprint sensor over there. From there, the students have to collect it their fingerprint and send it to the teacher. Likewise, that is my idea for extending. I don't know how much it work or not.
Okay, so without fingerprint also we can analyze the students better. Like there are many websites available now.
Yeah, based on quizzes and also.
Yeah, kisses and face expressions. There are
Yeah.
several other methods. So I
Yes.
recommend you to go for such methods rather than depending this fingerprint.
Okay, sir. Okay, I will do.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Okay, just
Otherwise,
to add.
it's one.
Okay, continue, Shyam, please.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's a good project. All the best.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Just to add what Shyam sir said, see, your title is Detection of Children Learning Style through Fingerprint.
Yeah.
Okay, using automated enhanced. See, like it is detection of students' learning style through fingerprint means fingerprint have something directly is we know fingerprint has nothing to do with the learning style, right? Am I
Uh,
right? It is only
yeah.
for classification. Fingerprint is only for classification and identification of students.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you can think about, see this title, you have to modify it accordingly. When you are
Okay, sir.
presenting in a conference or even your mini project, whatever it is, the title should be very clear and to the point. That is first thing. Second thing regarding your abstract, when we have gone through that abstract, the panelist, there also, am I audible?
Yes, sir, I can
Yes,
hear,
yes,
sir.
Yes,
yes.
yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, there also you have your abstract was is interesting, like Earth is revolving around so and so, but try to write the abstract in a technical document format. You can get so many papers across the. I mean, not only in IEEE, any technical journal paper you refer, and there is style for writing the abstract, and that can be form. You can follow that style. Okay, that will add
Yes, sir.
value to your. See, I'm just saying for your betterment, like when you are presenting into a good conference or journal, the writing style need to be improved. That's it, simply put in that way. Okay.
Okay, sir, because
Okay.
I'm
So,
next week. Sir, pardon. Next week, my exam will be going on second semester. So my college had given me this link, and you have to go over there. They had told me like this. Then I used to go through the instructions that is given over there. Then no plagiarism must be there. Only 250 words. Then I came in my mind that you just my mind had told me like that
It's
you
okay.
just
It's okay. No
yeah,
problem.
sir.
No problem. This is how
Next
we
time
are
when I'm
evolving.
preparing,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
assuring that sir in on technical way I will write the abstract, sir. I
Yes.
promise
Yes.
you.
okay,
Yes. Yes.
I also want to say that what Subhesh said is very right, ma. See, for example, after listening to you today, I felt so good. You've really done a very great job.
Thank
Essentially,
you,
I
sir.
will call this as a project which identifies different learning styles and enable defining learning accordingly, right? That is the ultimate this one. That's
Yes,
the
sir.
objective. Yeah. So that's an interesting project, but your abstract did not give us this feeling. We
Okay.
had to go through few times to really understand. In spite of our vast experience, the quality of this work did not come through instantly from abstract. We had to put some efforts to shortlist you for this activity. But it is good that we shortlisted you, but you did a good job. Thank you. It's a great
Okay,
project.
sir. Thank you, sir.
It's a
But what
great
Subhesh said
project.
is very, very true. Yeah, what Subhesh said is
Yeah. It's
very
a
true.
yes. It's a
Yes,
very
yes, sir.
very good project. But when you are
We,
putting this
we,
much
we
effort to yes.
yeah,
Yes.
we have almost missed this. You understand?
Exactly, exactly. See,
Okay, sir.
while to tell the truth, just by seeing the abstract, the idea was not fully communicated to us. Okay, only after your presentation, this presentation is very good. After the presentation, only we got the idea. Now it is clear. And
Okay,
again,
sir.
as Shyam sir said, use of fingerprint for this is another thing where you can think about it in the main project. That's
Okay,
fine.
sir.
But when you are presenting, this is a idea worth presenting in good journal, or at least in a very good IEEE conference, something like that. So when you are presenting, be sure that all these ideas are coming properly in your writing. Okay, then
Okay,
only
sir.
the world will realize your potential and how much your effort you are put. We can see the equipment is ready in your hand, but it may not be for the reviewers, for the present. I mean, for the board, it may not be uh, accessible. Since you are presenting in front of us, we know, but for others, it is not like that. Okay, all the
Okay,
very
sir.
best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your valuable words, sir. Thank you, all of you, for your
Thank you.
patience and all, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for that.
Thank you, sir.
So,
Thank you, sir.
the next participant is Rizwan. Rizwan is here. Rizwan, you can present now.
Okay, sir.
I sure you can withdraw.
Is it audible and visible?
Yes, Rizwan.
Yes,
Rizwan,
Okay.
Rizwan.
welcome.
Welcome. Your time starts now.
Okay, sir. Sir, I'm Rizwan Ahmad. So, good afternoon, everyone. I'm presenting my idea about the post-pandemic education systems. So, it's actually a software application. Is my idea is uh, it's actually it's application oriented network of learning. It's creating a software application for it. So how it works, we coming slide where we can understand what it's actually what's why this project we have to understand. can you hold? Is my video is working? Oh,
Yes.
Yeah, it is
Yes,
visible.
that one is visible.
yeah. Okay. Okay. So why this project? We have to understand it. So we know about the threat of future pandemic because scientists have warned us that, like COVID-19, there are probability of superbugs, there are diseases coming after us because, and we have known about the social distancing policies. So in the normal class, we know that there are 52 students in bench, there are 5 or 6, there are 4 or 5 students are there. So they violate the social distancing policy. So we have this challenge also. So how we conduct the classes and all this. So next one is unemployment because unemployment is a serious issue we're discussing all over India because it's a serious things, and mainly the educated unemployment is very important because the other employment also, but we have to focus on educated unemployment. So educated unemployment, we know that there are many graduates are simply sitting home, there is no job for there. So it's one of the challenges also we covering this project. And one of is efficient use of available resources, which is very important. We are just aiming for the infrastructure resources. There are many infrastructures are there, so we are using our existing infrastructure for it. So this project aims for that, through creating an application connecting all these resources, and we are make use of it. So implementation, I'm just say first of all, it's a software application. How we implement it, just like we know about social distancing policy violation, there are many students in class, that is we multiplying a single class to many centers, learning centers nearby to us. So actually this all program must be implemented or monitored by government because government is only, we have to collect every data of the students also. So we have to also plot out the infrastructure including government offices, we can create government schools, access centers, public libraries. About 4,500 libraries are there. So we can use this all these existing resources to make a learning centers. So next is, we know about faculties, right? We have many uneducated educated faculties that have no unemployed. So we can make use of all these what faculties to register on an app as ed faculties. So we have to advertise for it. First, we have to advertise for it. It's supported by the government. We are creating a network of what learning centers, and we have to register the students in the app also. So this is just like creating learning centers, creating faculties in nearby house, because the COVID-19 we are creating more centers in a single class, learning centers. And how we technically have, we know about the Flutter framework is used all for the whole project because Flutter has main advantage to it because it can be used for both Android applications and both iOS versions also. We can use Google Firebase for database and Google Maps API for, we can take the location because we have to understand our nearby learning center. So we can use Google Maps API for it. And these are the technical aspects. And the timeline cost is for developing app. We have get 20,000 for developing the app and inputting the data, and all these results came after I think for 4 months we have get, because we have to input the data of the students, we have to take the input from the faculties, so we can extend this time period also. Actually cost is only considered for the developing the app. Actually I presenting my prototype also here, my what my app is at, so we can visualize what app is that. Can I present my prototype?
Yes, please.
Okay, you can see it, right? Is it visible, right?
Yeah, yes, please.
Okay, okay. So this actually called students login. We can log in as a faculty and we can log in as a student also. Actually, we can. Oh, actually, I must say that it's better to register from government schools because the schools have data of every student. So from
Oh,
each government.
Rizwan, I have a question on this, if you don't mind.
Okay.
You said you can log in as a student, you can log in as a faculty, and there is third entity which is an important learning center, right? In a nearby place, learning center is offered by somebody. Learning
Uh,
center cannot log in.
Actually, sir, it can be monitored by the government. So government has to spot out the nearby existing resources, infrastructure resources. Like if we have a public library in our near us, government can take the library as the learning centers, and government have to
Okay.
register. So the faculties can
Okay.
choose the nearby the locations, and student also can choose it. So the okay, sir. So this is actually the students and faculties. So students can log in, and the next one is we can create. Actually, I say what it's better to register from the school. We can also register because if we not get, we can also register in this app also from date of birth, class, and all. And and next is dashboard, right? It's a dashboard, it's a profile for us. We have a photo in here, we have informations, name, date of birth, roll number, and we have to go for the progress level also, and we have a locations also we have. So this is the dashboard, and when we have what in the left of it, we can see is it. So we can, from the left, we have dashboard, learning centers, faculties, and study materials, and history. History is the thing that we browse earlier, so we can see also that. So for selecting the learning centers, we can search the particular learning centers, and this is actually we take any learning center history that before we take any learning center, it displayed here that you are go to that learning center before, and we can also search for learning centers also, and we can also search for the faculties also. It's just like the same thing. If we get before a faculty teachings, they displayed a faculty's photo and informations, and we can also what select the faculties and select the subject also, and the locations also. And the study material, actually we know that the NCRT mode of material, actually it's have a PDF link, we can upload materials on it. And notes wise, we can from the faculties, we can take from that. If we attend some classes, we can take the notes from here, and we can search also the notes from the search button. And we have to know how it works, right? If I'm a student, I there is an history also. History is actually the thing that we get what we browse earlier and all. There's learning centers, faculties, and study materials, and we this is the thing that. So we are searching from the if so my I'm intended to make this app more user friendly, that we have to just take the search bar here, and we have to search the locations. So we have search for the if we were connecting the Google Map API, we get the nearby locations here, and we get the available faculties also. So we can press these locations and faculties to get easily, we can search the nearby faculty centers and faculties also. Actually faculties also have to choose the neighboring learning center. So we can create a web of learning center. After we get a notification here, you are applied for the respective faculties, and we can view for the notification also. So if we press this notification, we can get the notification of the time that we get the what learning centers. So this is
Hello, Rizwan, your time is up.
okay.
Please conclude in 30 seconds.
Okay, this is actually completed.
Sir, we can have like Q&A session now. Subheesh, sir, please.
Yeah, Rizwan, this is a very good idea. So basically, you are networking the learning, right?
Yeah,
You are using
we
the
are, and
network of learning.
yes, sir.
So what is, I mean, the idea is clear. What is the innovative part which you will define yourself
Okay, sir.
as far as your contribution is concerned?
Actually, sir, it's more innovative. Actually, if I'm a student, we can create a learning center in every part. We have creating a network of learning centers every with the faculties and all. So we can search any nearby. So that's much innovative. We can assess the learning centers efficiently,
Yes,
and
yes,
we can
yes.
use the
For
faculty efficiently.
I understood. So in order to this be practicable, we need to get data from students and other lifelong learners, right?
Okay.
Through a
Yes.
government
Oh,
agency.
yeah. Yes.
So have you thought about the practicability of this product? I
Okay, sir.
mean,
Sir,
yeah,
okay.
how we
So
will get data, because nowadays this data collection and enrolling is most important. It has to be come under one umbrella, and how you are going to implement it. What is your idea?
So actually, we have a challenge of this internet penetration. We can apply this app on Kerala first because government has implementing a care phone service to us because it's providing a fiber optic network services. So we can link this product to this also as a added advantage to it. So government can choose it because it's a challenge for government also. Like if a post pandemic also, we have to create a learning center for it, so it's a responsibility of government. So government can implement it nicely. We can monitor government by selecting the infrastructure. By we know about that in Aadhaar card also, each government schools has taken the data from it and they uploaded and they give the Aadhaar card also. So in schools, in respect, it's better to register the old students of the government or government schools through Akshay centers, or we can what register through the app also. So that
Yeah.
way, I think we
Yes.
can do that.
So your app is facilitating to connect all the learning resources available in libraries,
Yeah,
colleges, and across.
we can
Yeah.
using our efficient infrastructure
Yes, yes.
resources
So
and
it is the connection idea is very good because it is like network. We can find out the nearest learning
yeah,
center resource. That is good, and with the location also. Only
yeah,
thing is when it has to be integrated under a government system, this
yeah,
data
yeah.
security, some issues are there. So you have to address that also. Otherwise, the idea is very good. And again, as I suggested to earlier participants also, application oriented network of learning. You can think about a more innovative title to make it unique. Okay. I mean,
Okay, sir.
when you can present it in some conferences uh, somewhere the same idea, then you can take the screenshot of your um, app and the system architecture and all, and simply you can present it, and it will get accepted in very good conferences. You may be knowing about IEEE Education Society already, and there are prestigious conferences. Just try for that. For example, this is for others' information also. I don't know how many others are there. See, EduCon conference is coming. The abstract submission deadline is 25. So you can try for that. EduCon, just search for that. Okay. All the best.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Kesavasamy sir, please.
Yeah. Good morning, Rizwan. It was a well done job.
Thank you, sir.
See, there are three stakeholders we are talking about. Government, I will come little later. One is uh, learning facilities available around us, right? It can be
Yes,
private learning space also, right? It not be
yes,
government alone. Suppose I have a huge hall, right? That is also a learning space which is
yeah,
available for you. That's a learning
yeah,
space, right? That's what you are thinking of. There are a lot of learning centers, lot of learning spaces available today.
yes,
And there are a lot of people, as you said, unemployed, and they are competent people. They can be used as teachers. That is fine. That is second stakeholder. Third stakeholder, there are students who are in need of learning beyond their academic system, right? Obviously, you are targeting students who are in need of extra learning other than their colleges and students and schools. Am I right?
yes, sir. Actually,
Who
for
are
a
who are your target learners? Who are your target learners? See, two stakeholders are clear to me: unemployed, competent people who can teach, and learning space available, learning resources available around is another stakeholder. That is clear. The learner, who are your learners? I understood that as people who are in need of additional learning in addition to what school or colleges teach them. Am I right, or anything else you have in mind?
actually, sir, I say about the policy of social distancing. For like we are know that earlier class, we know that the class have 52 students in a bench. There are four students and all. So it's not easy to sit all the students because we violate the social. So it started the learning people. So that's the
Okay,
main.
I got it. That means even the existing class you are splitting into
Yeah,
different learning
yeah,
centers across
yes,
different schools.
yes, yes, yes,
That means there is fourth important stakeholder. They are the current college management and current school management, right? They should be willing a part of learning can be done outside that campus, right?
Actually, sir, we can use this app for school students. So we have some about about many schools. I think
No, no, no,
about.
no. I'm trying to say in any when we are this one when we are talking about any system, we have to talk about who are our stakeholders and what kind of input they are giving to the system and what kind of output the system is giving to them. That is what we are talking about in any system. That can be governing system, physical system, or computer system, any system. Here I am trying to understand. One stakeholder is clear to me. The learning centers around available, resources available, and faculty who can be used as faculty, potential people who can be used as faculty is available. That is clear to me. And there are students who are in need of learning. That is what my understanding. But you said the college student, the regular program can also be distributed across the state to ensure the social distance is maintained, right?
Okay.
So that means existing academic stakeholder is also there, right? That is a fourth stakeholder. Am I right? See, for example, I am running, let us say, Namboodiripad Higher Secondary School, right? Namboodiripad Higher Secondary, this is Kerala, I said Namboodiripad, otherwise I would have said Bharat Namboodiripad Higher Secondary School, when I am running, that is my school. And to ensure social, I really like your app. This helps me to ensure social distancing. So, as a management of this school, I am also a stakeholder in the system, right?
Oh,
Are you dealing
yeah,
with that?
we can register that school in this app also, because that also a learning, we can convert to a learning center.
No. That learning center is one aspect. Is one. The school management giving permission for his students to get learning in some other centers.
Uh,
How confident they are because they are going to teach instead of that some untested teachers are going to teach them, right? No, I'm not against the idea, but what I'm saying, they are also a stakeholder. Are you considering them, or you have not considered them so far? That is the impression I get. You have not considered them.
uh, yeah, so the government teachers can also register on this app as a faculties. So it's actually for the registration of faculties, we must take on that degree, like MSc degrees, and there are rating system also. If a students like it, we can rating impression for the faculty. So we can choose the faculty. So we can make use of all these government teachers, also their resources, also that like private. If there are private teachers, like if she wants to teach it, she can register, and we can also rate it. If she has very good teaching, we can rate it, and students can choose if better things.
Okay. Rizwan, I really appreciate you have a great thinking. There is a great potential. But only thing you have to worry about all the stakeholders, whether you are considering, you are bringing in a government as a stakeholder. Your system can work without government also. Are you aware of that? This system can be a great system for a private sector also. Government need not be in the loop at all, right? Lot of private spaces are available for you, and a lot of teachers are available for you through this your app. And then definitely there is lot of learning requirements, right? Because inadequate learning is happening in some places. So there is lot of learning requirements. Everything is there. You have a great system in place. But as if you say government is a stakeholder, that's fine. I have no objection. You should also consider existing education system is also a stakeholder.
Okay.
By ignoring a college management, you cannot take their faculty. All the teachers here will understand. So think of that they are also a stakeholder. When you consider all the stakeholders, your system will be great. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Shyam,
Thanks.
Shyam sir, please.
Yeah, that's one. So my question is that who should pay for teachers?
Yeah,
Is it
actually,
government?
yes, sir. We have to government, because I'm say about the government as a main monitoring system. So government have to, yeah, what we have to give a sufficient amount for teachings hour and all. Have to be what a fixed amount is there for a faculty.
So did student pay anything? Student or parents pay anything?
Actually, no, sir. It's my idea is not to pay any money for registering and all. For government schools, we know about any, but the fee is not there For aided and all, there is some educations, but my idea is not to bring any, because it's public government stakeholders, and so government
But
has to take the responsibility more in.
okay, but from where did government take money for that?
So
Government
actually,
get money. Yeah.
yes, sir, because government, because we have like there are salaries that, if we know that for a present system also, for the COVID pandemic also, there are lot of government what workers are staying in homes, the teachers are there, they get the enough amount. So we can make use of, because it's a thing that relevant when the pandemic of, in the pandemic there are people who are sitting in homes, and also we can make use of all these resources to pay. Actually they get payment when they work, right? So we can value the payment, right? So
Okay. But without this money involvement, we cannot work such a huge project. I think you
yeah,
can better think of making a network of like tuition centers.
okay,
Making a network of tuition centers, and you can manage this app with not a government but a third party entity. That will be better. But as
okay,
far as concerned with the government, the money should be involved,
okay,
and the selection of the good teachers will be a huge task. Not just verifying their degrees make any sense. They should go for an exam. They should prove their self. We cannot blindly say government can check their degree certificate and issue them a what to say a teacher badge or something.
okay,
They should
okay.
go for an exam
And
and
and Shyam, there is a space, there is a price for learning space also. Right?
yes.
There is a price for learning space also. People who are giving my space for learning, I will be expecting a money for that, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, Ruslan, the idea is very interesting. It is very good, and it is like what I understood from Ruslan's point of view is when he thought of an idea, he thought in the bigger way. That's very good.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
means
yeah.
simply put it like this. See, we can think about a scenario in which Ruslan is sending his idea as a startup company under Kerala government startup mission or something like that. Then if this project is uh, if they accept this project, if they get the sanction from government, it can be implemented across Kerala, and
Correct.
those teachers or those people who are not having job during this pandemic, they can enroll, and government can give some subsidy or for the hours there. If the government is approved this project, it can be under a government system. That is what Ruswan's idea, right?
Yeah, yes, sir. Government. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The idea is very good. I am only a little bit concerned about its yeah implementation only. The
Okay,
rest
sir.
everything is fine. And like Kesavasamy sir said, with the, I mean, if you are approaching to private entities, it will be more easier. Like there won't be any red tapeism, something like that. And if a network coming under this, uh, I don't know how much people are going to enroll for it, but still the funding thing, like Shyam pointed out, can also be sorted out using
Okay,
private entities. Okay.
Rizwan,
okay.
what is your father's name, Rizwan?
My father's name is Suharvardi.
Slowly tell. Let me pronounce that.
Suhurvardy. Suhurvardi.
Good one.
Suhurvardi. Suhurvardy. Suhurvardi.
Sugurwadi. Sugurwadi.
Yes.
Also,
Suppose you
Ruslan,
start Sugurwadi Education Consultancy.
yeah.
Sugurwadi Education Consultancy. Rizwan starts and you are the CEO of the company. And definitely funds will flow because you have a great idea. And there is see, for example, in addition to availability of teachers, that's Shyam said, you have to identify right teacher, pay them well. Now the aided colleges also they use guest lectures, all those, they are not paying peanuts. You pay very good government kind of salary to the teachers, you will get a good teachers full time. and you have a great idea. There is a law, everybody goes for tuition today. That is what Shyam was telling. A network of tuition center that will really be a big hit in private. Otherwise, as Subheesh was telling, if government takes over, that's good. This is a good one of those social responsibility of government, right? They have a lot of social responsible scheme. If it can go some that fine. It is also a potential project, commercially viable project in private sector also. I think both are possible depending on. Now, as of now, you are targeting government. That is good. Please try it. Go on.
Yes.
Not only, sir, actually, yeah, not only, sir, actually it is a need of the hour because there are lot of learning apps available, so many libraries, so many things are there. I mean, in this online education system, proliferation is there. So if everything comes under one umbrella, that would be good. So that within one click, students or lifelong learners will get where the learning materials are available. Not only that, if the teachers are enrolled, they will get some monetary benefit as well. It is like a honorarium, not like paid service, something like that. But that can be a win-win situation for both the unemployed.
No, this is a fit project for both for social responsibility of government as well as a viable project for a private sector also. I think
Exactly, sir.
there's a
Yes,
potential in both. That's what I.
Yes, both ways you can.
Very rarely you will have a project which has an appeal for both the sector. Here, this is a project which has an appeal for both the sector.
Yes,
Yes.
you can son, you can contact ASAP. There's another wing of government for skill development.
Yes.
ASAP. So there are many ASAP qualified trainers around us.
Okay, sir.
Some of they are not employing right now. You can contact ASAP and present this idea before them.
Okay, sir.
At
Sometimes
least you can start with the ASAP trainers, as Shyam pointed out. Okay, you can start with the ASAP trainers, then you can the network links can be added one by one. So like that also can be thought.
Okay,
I
sir.
have some contacts. You can contact me. Sajjan
Yeah.
will give you a number, and I
Yes,
will
sir.
connect to you with some of the ASAP trainers and their
Okay, sir.
leaders. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. All the very best.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Then you can leave now. Thank you. So next presentation is from Jayashankar. Jayashankar, you can share your screen and turn on your camera.
Sajjan, this is our last presentation, right?
No, sir. One more. One more.
One more is there. Okay, okay, fine.
Okay, hope I am audible and visible.
Yes, sir. Please share it.
Yes, you are.
Jayashankar,
Hello. Jayashankar, is there a network issue? Hello. If you're having network issue, you can turn off your camera. Bandwidth issue.
Jay Shankar? He may be coming in again.
Okay, sir.
So his system is hanging, he's coming in.
He'll join them in, sir. Just message
Yeah,
him.
he's joining.
Hello, sorry for the inconvenience. My laptop crashed.
It's okay.
Yeah, no,
Welcome back.
Sorry, I can't hear anything.
Hello? Is that audible for you? Jayashankar?
I will just leave and join again. I can't hear anything. I just can't see the mic icon.
Sajin, out of the 7 candidates we have, one
What
was
do you
already absent, right? And one
Yes,
due to
he
that
joined.
group issue.
He joined at the right time. He was the third participant, and he called me in the
Okay.
morning.
So we have 6 participants out of the 7, right? Right, Sajin? Six out
Yes,
of the
sir.
yes.
We have six
Okay.
participants.
Okay.
Jayashankar is the fifth, and fifth one is waiting in the lobby. I
Yes.
given him the time 1:20, but I think it will go far beyond that.
Subheesh sir,
Yes. Sure.
can I leave now? I have some engagements with that inauguration function.
okay.
Okay.
And what I suggest, Besh,
Yes.
is
Yes. Sir.
balance two more candidates are there, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And possibly we can have in another innings after lunch or after evening, right? When Shyam is back.
There only one, but he's waiting as we scheduled. Only
Am I
one more
audible
fellow.
now?
Yes, Jayashankar, you're audible.
Okay, thank you. Let me share my screen.
Okay, Shyam.
Jayashankar, please keep the time. Try to reduce your presentation to 5 to 6 minutes, please,
Okay.
due to some time constraints.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jayashankar Shyam. I am a BTech second semester Artificial Intelligence and Data Science student from SJCT Palai. So the idea which I proposed for the Ideathon contest was about an app called Interapp, which is an interactive app, uh, which is basically based on augmented reality and artificial intelligence. So let's look, why do we need this app, or what is the importance of this app? Uh, so the main goal of this app is to improve the quality of education which we are receiving today. We know that the quality of education which we are receiving today is not up to the level what we need as of today. And actually, to make learning more interesting, we know that most of the students are fed up of the online classes as of today. So this app can make the education more interesting and to make the student completely aware what he learned. Now let's look how to implement this app. So after developing the app, it will be provided to both the students and teachers, and the teachers will create a virtual classroom inside the app so that students can join each of these classes. And in the app, we will provide a pool of AR resources from which the teacher can select appropriate ones and provide it to the students. And students can then interact with the app. Interaction means it's just like playing a game, a simulation game, and there will be a goal-oriented task for the inside the simulation. After completing each of the simulation tasks, each students will be asked to take some questionnaires so that we can analyze the quality of education which what the student gained, and the task and the success scores will be transferred to the teacher so that he or she the teacher can analyze how the student how the student got the information. So now let's look into the technological aspects of our app. So in the app, we know that AR requires a lot of database, and talking about the development, it would need a backend and front-end development and a server to communicate between the teachers and students, and for us to push the changes and updates to the app. And as we know that augmented reality is a key aspect of our app, we would need AR tools for development such as Google AR Core, AR Toolkit, etc. And for the development and incorporating AI to the app, we should use some integrated development environments like Android Studio. And for making the app available in all cross platforms, we should use some cross platform software development kits such as Flutter. And the cost I approximated for the initial hosting and publishing of this app is about 10,000 rupees. And it would take around 9 to 12 months for the completion of this project. So that's it. Thank you.
So we can have the Q&A session now, sir.
Hello?
Yeah, Jayashankar, it's interesting.
Okay.
So, InRap is good. Actually, I have some questions like
Okay.
what is the innovative part? I mean, how you will highlight your innovation as compared to the other existing applications in the
So
field
the
of...
other existing application currently, they are not experiencing the reality, or we can say it's just the theory, or they are not experiencing the practical applications of the current what they are learning.
Yeah. So you are trying to explore that practical thing
Yes.
through your app. So how
Yes.
you are going to do that? You can
So
explain more.
okay, so the tech I am using here is the augmented reality. So augmented reality can bring the virtual objects into the real world using our mobile phone cameras. So,
Okay. Yes.
so
So you
that
are going to use this AR technology, right?
yes.
And there are apps, for example, even one of our panel members who just left a few minutes before,
Okay.
you might have heard of that tutor app. He is one of the founder of that Shyam Pradeep Alil. So they
Okay.
are also using augmented reality.
Okay.
I mean, there are several such apps. Just started, but this is booming as of now.
Okay.
So, what is unique in your approach, in your
Okay. So
in-rap?
along with the augmented reality, I am implementing incorporating artificial intelligence into it, so that so corrects the status of every student's the exact progress of the students will be analyzed by the AI.
Okay. So it is a simply an AI-based system with the
Yes.
augmented reality. Any other? What are the other technologies which you are using? I am asking about the system architecture.
I didn't get it. System.
What are the other technologies which you are going to incorporate in your app? Augmented reality, and I
And
understood
just these
this.
mainly these two. Then
Okay, fine. Okay, that's all from my side. Over to Kesavasamy, sir.
okay.
Jayashankar,
Yes, sir.
so am I visible now? I am visible, right?
Yes. You are visible.
See, I have a couple of questions.
Okay.
When you talk about AR and AI-based system,
Yes.
and it learning resources can be created with your mobile camera, when you are talking about, I want to know, suppose the system as we used in a regular engineering college classroom,
Okay.
or a higher secondary physics classroom, or chemistry classroom, or
Okay.
biology classroom.
Okay.
The learning resources required for those subjects, right? Biology or geology or such
Yes.
subjects, from where the teachers will get it. How that is an input for your system.
Okay. Firstly, I was planning it for the school students so that we ourselves can do it. So thinking about the,
No, no. In that case, is it scalable?
I didn't get, sir.
Is it scalable? How much
Yes.
you
Yes.
can expand?
Yes. With the help
How
of the,
many learning resources you can create as an individual or a small team? Can
okay.
you create learning resources in geology, biology, history, economics, mathematics
Okay.
in
With the help
school
of
level
some,
itself?
yes, with the help of some faculties, I can do it myself, I think. With the help of my team.
Do you understand it's a huge task you are talking about?
Yes.
Yeah. And I would prefer a system, the IT or mobile-based app is a really interesting thing.
Yes.
The mobile camera, using mobile camera, creating learning resources is also a good idea. That can create some supplement learning. The main learning, there are a lot of already materials are available.
Yes.
your system should be able to take those materials as an input so that the acceptability of the system will be instantaneous. Otherwise, to
Okay.
start with, who will buy your system?
So
Because what, suppose I am a history teacher,
okay.
what I will do by buying your system immediately?
So there are a lot of things which can be understood by just saying or just by theory. So by in the
No, no. For
terms of
example,
theory, there are not a lot of things. I
yeah.
am just
What was the reason for Panipat War 2? You need not answer. You need not answer. Obviously, you don't know what was the reason for Panipat War 2. Panipat, there were 3 wars, you know.
Yes.
So I am a software professional, but I will talk about other subjects. Essentially, to trigger a thinking for you. So, learning resources, you have a great system. All those are all fine. You are using AR fine. You are using AI fine, right? Virtual reality fine. Everything is
Yes.
fine. I agree. But learning resources bringing to your system, you have a huge task. What I think. That is one thing. Second thing, when your requirement is so large, where you yourself want to create all the learning requirements for all the subjects under the sun, right? When you are talking about,
So
when
I
you are,
was just
look,
thinking about
it is
the
not
school
possible.
students.
Yeah.
Uh,
Huh?
I was just thinking about the school students, so that me and
Yeah.
my
School students, all these subjects they have, you know, zoology, biology, botany,
yes,
physics, chemistry,
yes, with the
and
help of
from
some
first
teachers
standard,
and
from first standard to 12th standard, how many subjects are there? How many classes are there? Right? It's a huge task, right?
yes,
How your system, how you are going to create those. I understand your system. How you are going to create those learning resources is my question. That's one thing. That is impossible by 2, 3, or 4, 5, 10 people joining together doing that is impossible. You think on that. And second question for me, you should not underestimate the cost of the project. When you said 10,000 is the cost for a 12-month project, in 12
no,
months, what are the things you are?
no. I just don't. I exploded the development cost. I can't predict the development cost. So I just said the only hosting cost and publishing
What
cost.
is the what is the cost of 10,000? What are the things it covers?
It is publishing of the app into some Play Stores, App Stores, and for buying cloud storage from the internet.
It's a huge cost project. Yeah, rework out your cost, right? Otherwise, how you will get investment, right? Suppose I want to invest 1 lakh rupee or 10 lakh rupee in your company. You
Okay.
you should have clear definition of cost and how you are going to recover that cost. All those things should come out in a business model, right?
Okay.
You are an youngster. You have huge potential, and learning is a requirement today. And using VR and AI is a good thinking. And all resources I will create, my team will create is a very ambitious thinking.
I was just
You
thinking
understand
about
that is ambitious thinking. Okay, thank you, Jason.
that.
I'm not displaying you. I'm only under. You have a good project. I want you to understand the magnitude of the project.
Okay. Okay.
It's a huge, huge. Yeah.
Okay.
All the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. I am close. Ajay, you may close. Yeah.
Thank you, Jaishankar.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. All the best for your forthcoming exam. Yeah.
Next question is from Nitin Naushad. He's here. Nitin, you can present your screen. Jaishankar, you can view now.
Yes. Hello, sir. So I'm Nitin Naushad. I'll just share my screen right now. There's sufficient noise from somewhere. I'm not sure exactly where. Yeah, thank you very much. So,
Is it better now?
yeah, it's better now. It's very better now. Thank you. Are you able to see my screen now? Yeah.
Yes, please.
Okay. So, I hope you're able to see my slides. Okay, so I'll just introduce myself. I'm Nitin Naushad. I'm from Amrita School of Engineering. I'm currently pursuing electronics and computer engineering there. and I'm also a team member of a CTF team called Team BIOS. So my idea today is basically automated temperature sensing and vaccine verification system using an RFID concept. So I'll just start off telling you guys why exactly this project is needed. Now, since since all the world is recovering from COVID and every place is reopening, there is a sufficient need, an efficient need for a post-COVID security system. So, in general, in everywhere we go, what they do is that one person will be there and he'll have to check manually the hard documents if every student is actually taken both the vaccines and if the student has a lesser temperature. So one person has to manually verify the documents and you have to use a thermometer, check his temperature and write this down. Now, this idea, this method is actually that's been going on everywhere right now, in India, everywhere right now. Now, the problem with this method is that it requires a lot of manpower, firstly, because let's just say classroom, lab, a canteen, entry of the campus, everywhere, one person should stay here and one person should do this. So so we need that many people to stay in each locations. Second thing, when one person is actually very time consuming because everywhere there'll be a queue waiting for the people to, just, doing all this because one person have to manually verify the documents, either soft copy or hard copy, and then he have to take the temperature. So this is actually a very time efficient system. Like it actually consumes a lot of time. And the second thing is that it's not safe for the person who's actually checking it because that person is actually open to every single student in the community. So what I'm proposing here is an idea to automate this system. So what I'm trying to do here is that make a system that actually detects the temperature contactless. Okay, I have a sensor that actually detects the temperature of the person contactless, and also that system has a RFID reader that actually checks if the person has taken both the vaccines. Now the data, how I'm going to implement this, I'm just going to do this. Now every student will have an RFID tag. Okay, it's called the ID cards. So every ID card is basically an RFID tag, and writing or reading data into an RFID tag is a very complex process. But then changing the UID, okay, every card has a UID. Changing the UID of the card is actually relatively easier. In simple terms, RFID tags, changing the UID, we already have an inbuilt Arduino library to do that. So in terms of code also, it's actually very easy to do that. So if we can change the UID of the card to the name of the person and yes or no, depending on if the person has taken the vaccine or not, and if we can implement a sensor that is contactless, then this whole process is automated. I'll just show you a small demo of how exactly we can do this. The advantage is that it's time efficient because all the student have to do is show the RFID card to the reader. When this is the card, when the card is shown itself, the person's hand will be next to the system. That system, I mean, there's a threshold of 10 centimeter distance that's required for the card to read and for the temperature to get detected. So in a way, he'll be keeping it in a minimum 10 centimeter distance. So temperature sensing is done, security system is done, and the vaccine verification is done. And because we are using some software, anyway, we need to have a data storage structure there. So the data of number of people entering and leaving the place will also be detected. So that's why it's time efficient. And the reason why it's cost efficient, I'll just show you. The reason why it's code efficient also is basically because the only requirements here is an Arduino library. And I mean, we are using a mobile application like Flutter from Google, or if you are using something like React or Node for the web app, all of this is open source and there's a lot of resources out there that actually makes it easier for the coding part. Now going on to the components part. Now here MFRC 522 is the RFID reader that I have used for demo. It is this one, I hope you can see, and that's the blue thing there. And the MLX 90614 is a contactless temperature sensor, the small dot, and that's also there. RFID tags in here, in our case, is the student cards. Then we have an Arduino Uno, that's the development board we are using as of now. Now, Arduino Uno is used here just for the purpose of checking and for the demo purpose. In order to actually implement it, we need to get the data and take it over to an API or a cloud. We need a Wi-Fi module in order to actually implement this and make it commercialized. So for the Wi-Fi module part, we are actually as of now using an ESP32. Now breadboard resistor, LED buzzers, they are all for the connection and for the demonstration, for the project part. Now the cost will come near 1000 INR. Like basically when I bought them, I already had the development boards. The RC522 comes around like 300. The MLX comes around like 200. Even the Arduino boards are actually cheaper, 500 to 600. But then how much we can actually implement development boards in a commercialized way, that is a question. But for the demonstration purpose, it's just been 1000 only. Now, coming to the procedures. Procedure, firstly, the student RFID cards. Basically, RFID tag and the RC522, we need to check if it's actually working. So that's the one task. Second thing is to set up the contactless temperature sensor, which is the MLX90614. Third task is to store this data associated with the vaccination details on the cloud and serve it over an API. Now, all of the people who have taken a vaccine have gone to the government site of CoWIN. Yeah. So this CoWIN actually has an API also behind it. And this API has just two input requirements. It needs the person's number, because the number is directly encoded with the Aadhaar card. So if he has a number, then that actually shows that he's an Indian citizen. And that number and an OTP is required for any person in the third party to get the details of his or her vaccination details. So if a person can actually give their number and the OTP, and if a system can automatically enter these values and give out the vaccination details, and if that system, that same system, let it be a web app, let it be a Flutter, software, let it be a mobile application, if that system can take that data and store it, or take that data and we have to replace the UID tag with that. So let's just say if it's a string function, then it has a string, and we have to take this data from that API and give that data to the string, and we have to manually, in the code, we have to change the strings. That's all that's been done. And in the code, there's another part where the code should check this API. It should check if the temperature is below a certain threshold, and it should also check. I mean, we are already changing the UID of every card, right? So the code should also check if the last 3 digits is yes or if it is NO. Now this yes or no, either we could just manually type it, some person has to do it, some person of the university should do for all the students, or it should be done individually, or that can also be integrated into our API. But the problem is that, see, after we build a basic functionality of an API, let's just say some solid front end, Node.js or React, and some good framework, Bootstrap or Firebird, something like that. I haven't exactly implemented a web app as of now, but if we can make a base functionality, adding functionality to it is actually relatively easier. That's what I have understood from talking to developers. So, so the first part is that, and so that's the basic procedure here. Now coming to the results section. So yeah, coming to the results.
Please conclude in one minute.
Yeah, okay. Now coming to the results section, this is the command line interface that you can see on the screen. Now in the COM3 is my Arduino Uno, and this the diagram on the top part is the output we get from the RC522. So here is the card UID, PICC tag, success, and block. So editing this card UID, we already have an Arduino library to do that. So literally there's nothing coding required there. And now on the below part, this is what we get as an output from MLX90614. Object and an ambient temperature. So if we can get the object value and if we can run it over a if loop saying that if it's below this certain threshold, only then grant access, then it'll work out fine. So this is actually an idea under construction, and that's basically it from my side. Thanks a lot for listening. I'll answer your questions now.
Thanks a little.
Yeah, thank you.
Lisa, over to your question.
Thank you, Nitin. It is a wonderful idea. We like your, that is why you are in. Okay. So, and you presented it well too. It is interesting to know. I mean, this is actually need of our system, vaccine verification as well as automated temperature sensing. And not only for students, whenever we are going, they are just checking the temperature sensing, and vaccine verification is needed. So you can, my first suggestion is if you are implementing it for students, you can think about integrating it to larger public also. Okay.
Commercialization.
Then I have some doubt regarding that. How
Please go.
to this OTP integration? This COVID site, we will get OTP. Can you explain that part again? I mean, after getting OTP, whether it is done through a system or interfacing system, or uh, we have to collect OTP from each and every student, right? Then only we can do that
Yes,
procedure.
actually, yes, actually, the Covin API actually allows us two inputs. So, if either we could do this individually, every student can take enter his number, take his details, and change the UID manually. Every student. Otherwise, we could actually make an API that actually connects to another API and takes this data. Like OTP, we just have to enter the OTP from each student. But then, yeah, at the end, that student has to provide the details. It's a matter of
That is it. That is it. So manually, that it has to be done. It's a manual
it has
part,
to be done manually.
and that too within a time limit, because that OTP usually having 3 minutes or 2 minutes in coincide, right? That validity.
Yeah. So it is definitely better if the person does it himself.
Yeah. So first that kind of registration or enrollment is done, then the UIN will have all the details. That is your idea, right?
Yeah.
Okay, very good, very good. And regarding that automated temperature sensing part, can you elaborate more? Because your title is that.
Yeah, it's actually contactless temperature sensor. So this thermometer here, it actually has the, I mean, I don't exactly know how exactly the working is, but then this MLX 90614 is designed in such a way that we can actually detect it. There's a sufficient, let's say, 10 centimeter. That's the only requirement. If our hand is near 10 centimeters, then it'll detect the temperature of the hand.
Okay. So while describing the system architecture, you have to find out what is the temperature sensor inside it. It will be a instrumentation system, right? It's very easy to find out. Just search
I think it
for
will be
that.
there in the data set.
Yeah, it will be there. So that, see, you can. This is a very good idea. You can think about so many things. You can even think about presenting it as a journal paper. You guys may not be that much aware that you will be having publications, or you can publish in your own areas. At the same time, there are so many journals specific to educational technology. Okay, so that is a booming area, and since this is a very relevant topic, if you are writing it well, you will get a very good internationally acclaimed journal paper. You can think about IEEE transactions in education, or not. There are something very important journals are there, like IEEE transactions on learning technology. TLT is there. So you just try. Even if you are not getting, you will get very good suggestions from the reviewers how to improve it. And then at least you can publish it in a very good international conference, IEEE conference, something like that. So this will be, obviously this will get published. Only thing is the amount of work you are going to put for it matters. So that is from my side, and you can think about this product thing also. You can try for patenting too. There are so many aspects, because this is very relevant these days. So think about that. The rest everything fine from my side. That's all. All the best. Over to Kesavasamy, sir.
Understood.
Hello. Sorry. Good afternoon. Within
Good afternoon, sir.
Some kind of sound.
I think some background music is there. Others can please put off your mic. Thank you. Nitin, you really did very well. Actually, when we were discussing all the applicants, on this we had a long discussion. Reason I did this is a competition for an ideathon in the context of education system. Correct? How to enhance the learning, right? Anything related to learning. That is what the ideathon contest, right? So there was a discussion within the committee. There was an opinion. This is nothing to do with education. This is entry of the students, right? Yeah. Wait 1 minute. Let me complete. The entry of the students, and some of us strongly felt in the pandemic time, immediately now Kerala government, also Tamil Nadu government and Karnataka government, many governments across the country today. It is not a Kerala specific project. What you have done is a universal specific project. I tell you, it's a huge, huge project. We really love this project, and particularly during this, I think it's very timely project in the context because this is a time all the governments are opening up their education institutions from online classes to offline classes are going in. So now all the people are not fully vaccinated. There are people who have only one vaccination like that. There is a limit, right? And whether all are vaccinated or not, we don't know. Now, number of people attending the classes when it is suddenly going up, you have a huge challenge because all the students entering the college at a particular time, all the students are going out of the college at a particular time. So you have to do quickly enable the entry and the exit. So this system is related to learning only. That is a conclusion we had. That's why you are here. And now, as Subheesh was telling, it has a huge potential like airports. See, railway station, everywhere it is crowded. See, last week I came from Chennai. Nobody at Trivandrum airport checked my temperature. Nobody even checked whether I have that, what is that? My entry pass, right? Kerala government portal entry pass. So nobody checked. I had, and nobody checked whether I am vaccinated or not. Also not. Same case in Madras also. So I was really scared. A situation like this, when things are opening up from online mode to opening offline mode, either in education or in other business sector, your product is very, 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 very valuable. Now coming back to integrating the vaccination information, see temperature integration is fine, easy. The vaccination integration from COVID portal, you were explaining in detail, but ultimately, as Subhesh said, it has to be done at the last mile. It has to be done manually only, right?
Yeah.
So in the college environment, it is easy. Every student has to give their vaccination certificate to an office clerk, and in the back end, he will update all the UID. That is easy to implement in college. Even without COVID, even without COVID interface provided by your software, a college office can always update based on the physical certificate from the student, right?
Yes, if the software certificate is manually checked, yeah, they can do that.
Yeah, then the office can do that in 1 day for within an hour it can finish one batch, right? So that is easy, not difficult. But in the case of airport and railways, how we are going to integrate this vaccination certificate is a challenge in this case because from COVID portal alone, your software alone cannot deal with that. That is what I guess. But it has a huge potential, not only for paper publication. See, Subhesh is an academician. I am from industry. So it's a huge business potential also. A huge business potential also. And I think your product or your idea will be bought by multinationals and you may get billions of dollars. All the best.
Thank you so much.
I have no questions. I have only appreciation and some comments. Particularly integrating data from COVID portal, I sincerely feel that is a challenge. In other crowded spaces, I'm not talking about school, colleges. That is easy to implement. In other spaces, it is challenge. But an application like this, which has a huge social impact, even central government should make the portal little more open for designers like you than what it is. You have any
Are
comments?
you doing it as a part of your project or somewhere presenting this? I mean, your BTech project, is it like this? Or you
I'm actually just a third year student, but I have a team and we're actually trying to learn Flutter and React so that we can actually implement it.
Okay, great.
And Nitin, for your information, again, I think Subhesh from your mic only the sound.
Oh,
So could
okay.
you repeat? I'm not.
Yeah. Nitin, long back, decades back, I was in the Board of Studies of Computer Science in Amrita University. So I have a lot of respect for Amrita
University. Oh, thanks for that. Okay, that's great.
Many senior academicians from the university are my friends. Nice to listen to you. You did a remarkable job. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
And
Thank you, sir.
my only question to you, that the portal interface, do you really think it is straightforward or there are challenges, particularly in other crowded places?
In other crowded places, it is actually a challenge because the number of people who are actually willing to go through all this and carry a card and and implementing this card in every single place is also a challenge. So, but then if it's colleges, I mean, people can easily understand why it's so important. But to the large public, it'll be a bit more difficult.
Yeah. See, if government is forcing the airlines or railways to issue tickets with this information integrated in a particular field as a buyer, you can pick from that also. It is available.
True.
It calls for a lot of interface between different agencies, railways, airlines, and government of India. You. But I really, all of us loved your project. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nitin. Sir, it's a question.
Thank you, Nitin. Thank you. All the best.
Thank you.
Sir, all the questions are on.
We'll go out now. It's too late
Yes,
for me
sir.
being a diabetic. For me, I have to eat now. Thanks.
Yes, sir. Yes.
We
Thank you.
three will discuss offline and come back on this. Finalize our recommended list. We'll share with you, Sajid. Yeah.
Sure, sir. Thank you, sir. So everyone can leave now. Thank you for all. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, sir.
Being a diabetic, I'm in a rush. Yeah. Thanks. Bye.
Yes. I can understand. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Subheesh, sir.